We're coming in with a natural today, okay? At first, I used to be so self-conscious with having my natural hair out, but it's giving. Like no one could. Make your heart feel the way it should. I'm gonna hold you when no one will. 'Cause I swear you deserve so good. Hey girl, hey. Welcome to my channel. Here I believe in community, uplifting each other, growing and learning, having all the life experiences and giving them back, because somebody might be exactly where you are. They never know what somebody else is going through. I don't believe in gatekeeping. I believe that if you give, and if you learn, you should teach other people. So today we're going to talk about me just rambling, going off on a tangent, because as females, we're expected to do so much but still hold our composure. Me, I see myself as the queen of the throne, okay? I'm sitting cute, looking pretty, but sometimes I feel I can be too nice, and that's when people take my kindness for weakness or when they take me for granted. So today I'm just ranting about life struggles, so don't say you didn't learn nothing from me.
Y'all, as a female, we have to get up and go and keep moving. We can't really afford to take too many breaks for too long, because it's stuff we constantly need. Me, as a woman, I put so much pressure on being productive and getting things done, keep up with our personal upkeep, with our surroundings. We have to make sure we're beautifying our space, because if our space is beautified, then that's how we're gonna feel internally. And the reflection of your environment is a reflection of how you are. So we have to continue to be productive in all ways, in all dimensions. And it's like our self constantly needs something, whether that's affirmations, that's love, whether that's checking with friends, feminine needs like nails, like I have to make sure that my face is good, I have to keep up with my hair, and it's always something constantly. We are always having to produce. We like our schedules to be full, things to be colorful, and it's like we really can't afford to just stop, to be stagnant, to be in place. I feel like I've been quiet for so long, and society or men deems women to like not be outspoken because that'll make you aggressive. And then like being black, it's like you have that factor added on too, like angry black woman. And it's like, girl, I'm just being myself. Like, am I not allowed to like have these moods and waves? And like, we're so multi-dimensional that you cannot ever just classify one single person and put them in a box as a category. And so I think that's the biggest thing with self-identity, is just knowing that you encompass so many bodies and so many personalities, and not in a negative way, but it's just because we are multi everything, we are infinite, and that's where we come from. Just like nature, it has no one pinpointed area, but it grows and it develops over time. And just like us, we are to nature, and we continue to grow and develop, and we can blend into certain settings, and we can be good at singing, we can be good at dancing, yet we can also be good at writing and reading. Like, these are the multiple talents that we can encompass. And I think that's a major thing that I've learned while growing, is that you can't, like, I'm not just one thing, and I don't just belong in one place, one setting, but I am able to be in all type of settings and do all type of things. And so just tying back into the way that I started this video is, as a woman, like, I constantly have to be doing something productive, and I feel bad sometimes when I'm not, and I don't know why, but it's like I have to keep going. It's either people that are looking up to me, or it's either myself trying to push me to be better and to know that I am capable of doing more. And then you hear these motivational speakings, and they're like, you have to do things that you haven't done before to be where you haven't been before. So it's like always something constantly going on in my head, and sometimes it's like, I just want to break. But then I'm like really determined, and I'm like, the break is just feeding myself spiritually. The break is self-care. The break is soaking my nails and getting them redone. The break is going in nature, going for a hike. And then being in the military does not help at all. You don't want to go to work, you're going. You don't want to do something, you're going to do it. So honey, I feel like I'm in what do they say, a bond between a rock and a hard place, something like that, because it's just like I can't just disappear or give up. And I feel like I put myself in this situation so that I can keep going. Have I taken breaks before? I'm trying to think. I feel like maybe in college I just burnt myself out because I was just doing so much, like working full time, going to school full time, volunteering, being in a sorority, being a baddie, like a cutie. And I just feel like I burnt myself out. I used to fall asleep behind the wheel, being so tired. I used to have to like constantly eat just to stay up from going to job, still doing my volunteer, community service, outreach. And now I feel like I'm tired, but I feel like I'm mentally tired. So it's like I have all these goals, but it's like, shoot, where do I start? It starts by being physical. But if I'm mentally tired, then that's the strongest muscle that you have, right? Is your mind. So if you're mentally tired, how do you get over that mental fatigue so that you can get up and be physical and do all these things that you have written down in your goals to do? So I think that's the biggest challenge for me right now, is just the mental aspect of like, where do I go from like mental fatigue? And then you have like emotional like fatigue from just deciphering who's for you and who's not for you. And I think the biggest thing with who's for you and who's not for you is like, once you're like a chariot of love and you are just like radiating and exuding and divine, you just love unconditionally. And what comes with love is setting boundaries. So how much time am I giving this person? Like, how do I move and behave in these certain environments when the other person isn't on that same level of that nurturing capacity of love that you are? So that's another thing. Setting boundaries. Y'all, I just love some messy bun though. Like, look at it. I love a messy bun. But I tired. And so usually I'm the type of person that will just run and flee. But the biggest thing that the military has taught me is that you can't run. Like, you have to face these things when it's uncomfortable, when you don't feel like it, when you're tired. You have to get up and do it. So I think that's the biggest lesson to take from the military. And once you end up doing it, it's just like a breeze. It needed to be done. Like, we have mandatory meetings. Nobody ever wants to go to them. But once you go to them, you're just like, oh, that wasn't that bad. So I think that's the biggest thing that I need to take away, is just get up and get it done. And it's not going to be that bad. So it's just that push. That initial push. And then you see all these motivating women, and we shouldn't compare ourselves, but we also should have goals to aspire to be more than how we are right now in the current moment. So sometimes I get in my head like, I need to do more, and then I start beating myself up. But I know that like I've accomplished a lot. So, and I know some people aren't really big into astrology and the earth signs and zodiac, but I am for my own personal reasons. And that's just because it's much deeper than like you're born on a certain day at a certain time, but also it's more microscopic than that. Like, it's a certain time, it's a certain way that everything was aligned. And I'm deeply into metaphysics, so that's my personal reason why I'm into it. And like Pisces, we usually like just run away from everything. Like, for me, like when I feel overwhelmed, I just want to sleep. And then when I can't sleep, I just want to be alone and research and just keep trying to figure out and understand like why I feel the way I feel, or what's the result on how I can make things around me better. And so like every week I feel like it's another reset on me trying to be better and accomplish my goals in a different way. So I feel like I'm meant to be in the military, even though like I just want to run and not do it anymore. So I'm just trying to take up everything that the military is going to continue to keep giving me and just making the best out of it. So I feel a little defeated and also stuck and also barricaded when I don't like that feeling, because I like to be free. I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So that's a big problem for me. But I'm here, so it has to be a reason why I'm here. And that's just where I'm at right now. And then I don't even want to get into relationships, y'all. Like, knowing your value and worth is like a major thing. And at first, like, I don't think I understood what that meant. Like, you know that as a woman, you come with force. As a woman, you're dedicated. As a woman, you can support whoever. As a woman, you can be nurturing, you can be loving, but not to the extent of like knowing personally what your worth is or knowing what your value is. And through experience, honey, I had to learn. I had to learn with the quickness, okay? So first off, like, it's just everything over the years to equate to how someone should treat you. So if you grew up in, like, I'm not saying me personally, but I know this is a testimony for a lot of women. If you personally grew up abused and you had to get out of that situation, that's adding on to your worth, because you personally had to dig yourself out of that, whether it was help that someone offered you and you took those steps to getting out of that, or whether you had to like really duck and dive and like go ahead and sneak your way out of there. But that's something that you personally went through to add on to, so I've been through this, so now I know that this is how much I'm worth, because I was able to learn from that experience and keep pushing. And so I feel like the biggest thing with like knowing your worth is the experience that you have, and to know that like I'm going to tolerate this or I'm not going to tolerate these certain behaviors, because I've been through too much to continue to allow this, or I've been through so much that I know this is what I want. So I know I'm not going to settle for anything less than what I want. And that's the biggest thing I had to learn about worth, because people really do be giving you breadcrumbs. And I'm like, I work too hard day in and day out. Even when I'm tired, I still get up and go. Even when I want to abandon things, I get them done because I have to do them. So I'm not going to have you being around me and in my space and you're doing the bare minimum and you're like eating fast food every night when I have a personal trainer and I'm like vegetarian and like I like my food to be presented a certain way. I like to pray over my food. I'm not just going to like have somebody else that's not meet me where I'm at. And I feel like I struggle with that the most, because I actually reflect and I sit down with myself and I write down my desires and my goals. And this is something I constantly have been doing since I was a kid. And a lot of people, like, we love advice from other people, but other people aren't in your shoes, so they won't be able to relate. Even if you explain it to them till you're blue in the face, they still have like other excuses from their experiences. So that's another big thing that I have to realize, like, as I'm growing and becoming, that other people aren't going to be able to guide you or give you the advice that you need, but it's you have to trust your own intuition to guide you to what's best for you. Like, yeah, other people are not going to understand, like, at all. They can understand to an extent, but until they're in your skin and they live your life from the moment you wake up and go through your daily routines to the time that you go to sleep and do that on a day-to-day basis, they won't relate. So I have to like be unapologetic and not like listen to other people because they're supporting you. Like, I won't be able to give you the most profound advice, but I can give you the best advice. But you truly have to go internally and trust yourself and like be concrete in and definitive in what you choose. And even if it doesn't work out, just know that that was what yourself told you to do. So it's going to have like some type of wraparound to a lesson to you knowing how to navigate something better the next time. And to my girlies who love the TikTok. I love TikTok. It's like so much on there. And I want to do more on TikTok because it's just so much potential to grow and get word out, to be creative. And I think that's the biggest thing about these platforms, which maybe like older generation doesn't understand why we gravitate more towards it. That like it's just a way to be creative, it's a way to express, and that's the biggest thing for human nature, is to be and to let it out. And so I like really love and commend our TikTok what's it called, our TikTok influencers. I really love our TikTok influencers because they are creating and they're like getting the word out in a way that's unique to them. Some people are really funny. Some people have like a way that they can get the message out without them like in a funny way, and like they can lower in a crowd to get the message across. So I really commend all of the TikTok influencers, and hopefully one day like I can be as good as getting the message out, because I know I have a lot to say, and I know that I can move mountains and encourage so many people just because of like the testimony that I personally have. Yeah, but it's real easy to be influenced by other people to like a false identity that's not true to who you are. And that's one thing about like self-acceptance. Like being that multidimensional person, it's like also someone who is you, someone that's unique to who you are and how you move. Like I'm quirky, and I think I'm funny sometimes. And I'm also like nerdy, and I like nature. So like that's something that's true to who I am. So now I need to figure out how to express that to where it's like a creative way. And it's just like so much into like being I want to say human, and a lot of people get like lost and dark and have like these depressive episodes where they go into like a dark place and they just channel and they stay there, and they just have like a mindset of survival, which is like video games or hustling, working, and not really doing all that it takes to be a holistic person. And like that's what I preach on more than anything, is just being a whole person. And a whole person is, yes, having that outlet like video games, having that outlet like things that people like typically overindulge in. Like you have foodies, like I have had like a big issue with like gluttony and like indulging in so much food. But like what makes you a whole person is having that outlet in a balanced way, but also having like self-development, personal develop, also having like your friendships and relationships in a healthy way, also having like outreach, having something that you do to help other people. And so that's my biggest platform, is what makes you a whole person. Like, are you living a holistic life? And that's like the circle, like the globe, like the world, like a necklace, like everything comes fully complete circle. And so I'm going to start talking more on that content, because I don't think I can really like constitute just one specific thing anymore, because the world is like rapidly growing and changing, and I'm a big believer in the only thing that's permanent is change, because nothing is stagnant and does not stay the same, unless you have like synthetic pieces. But we're all real around here and authentic, so we're going to be constantly growing and shifting and learning, and just being the best of who we are and better than how we were yesterday. And me too, I am still growing, and I just want to share much more of my journey, because I do have a voice and I want to vocalize it more. I want to be more active in speaking, and I just want to fine tune all of those things that make me significant, and being okay with it, and being unapologetic, and just being true. Like sometimes I don't pronounce words correctly and people correct me on that. I love it, but I hate it. I hate it because I need to be better with myself in my studies, but I love it because I'm still growing and learning. Just more things, divine just more things defining who I am. But I really do love speaking, and I'm not like a talkative person. I don't think I am, but my family thinks I'm so talkative. But I'm only talkative because I'm super happy to be around them, and I love my family to pieces. But like other people that like know me and are around me, I do not say a lot because like I feel like what I have to say is like that annoying, aggravating, motivational stuff, but we all need it. And that's really like the biggest thing that I have to offer. It's not like everything, but at the same time, it is everything because everybody individually has their own thing that they're good at in their own personal way. So it's like you need someone in your corner to like constantly motivate you, regardless at any stage of life, unless you're just like on top of the world. And so just having those like deep, tough conversations and really like working on being whole all around is just definitely all me. It's all me, and it's really hard balancing it all. But where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah. So yeah, that's a little bit more about me and me ranting and going on and on. So comment below, let me know insights, topics that you want me to talk on, or more ways that's like difficult to you, or things you had to learn, or ways that you've suffered. And we just gonna get into the nitty gritty, and we're gonna start being real raw, honest, real authentic, because that's how truth gets out. That's how real conversations happen. And I'm all about like rawness. And that's why I love people that are like so blunt and mean, because they're just being honest in their way. And so me, I'm the type of person that like I wouldn't have done that. But like a lot of people don't get Pisces, but honestly, we are real people. We're either really cold and mean, and I'm about to read you because you done said something mean to me, and I be letting stuff pass by, or either we're just going to be really sweet, like, no, it's okay. And then it's that like common ground, that balance with being honest, but also being honest in like a loving way. I think Oprah she said something really nice. I think she said a heartfelt truth. I don't know, but she said it, and I was like, yes, that's what it is. Like, you're being honest, but like in a loving way. And so that's what it is that I want to emphasize on more. But yeah, I'm just busy, and I need to figure out how to not be busy also and do what I love and have a full-time military career. So that's exciting. But for now, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, that's it. That's all. So bye.